So it took me to lose everything. So my partner and I, we got in a big fight. And, on the outside, we were happy. It was will and grace kind of a thing. You know what I mean? I ran our business. He was an artist. He did artwork. But internally in our home life is hell on earth.
Wow.
Two dudes aren't meant to live together. Okay. I have a friend who's a Palm Springs police officer. She's now retired. But she said the worst domestics she gets called on are lesbians and gays.
Really?
You think it's violent between heterosexual couples, it's a whole nother story. Now, my partner and I were never physically violent, and never, ever. I mean, I've never struck another human in my life. We don't even spank our children, just to give you an idea.
Okay.
That's a whole nother conversation about raising kids, but I'm not, that's not me. Now I carry guns, I hunt, I do all kinds of stuff like that, but so I'm not afraid to use them, and I can stop a bear, a deer running. So anyway, I'm good with all that, but it took me to lose everything. And what he did was, we got in a big fight. He said, get out of the house. I said, fine, I already got an apartment. He was addicted to pot and alcohol.
Okay.
And when I was leaving, he took all the money out of our bank accounts, put it all into one with his. So literally in an instant, gone. Nothing. No cash, just debt on credit cards. And then he filed a restraining order that I was going to, because I had guns, I was going to come back and kill him more or less.
Oh, so he lied.
He lied.
That's great.
But in California, you're guilty until you prove your innocence.
Right.
So here I'm like, I'm a pacifist, for crying out loud.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so now I've got this. So I can't go to our business. I can't even get a check to deposit it. I'm out of money. And I found myself on the floor of an apartment in Palm Springs in June. It's hotter than hell. Okay.
Yeah.
It's hot. And no money, no electricity. I had some some gay buddies that owned an apartment building across the street from our art gallery.
Okay.
They said, Jim, you can come stay here for a month. Just move in. We'll take care of you. Yeah. So I moved in. I laid on a tile floor, looked up at the ceiling, and I said, God, I'm yours again. I don't know why I said that. I don't know if it's just utter brokenness. I had nothing. I had nowhere to go. I still had my car. It was paid for. It was in my name.
Yeah.
And I'm like, shoot. I'll just wake up tomorrow and go back to. I had my membership at Gold's. I was going to Gold's Palm Springs. I was going to go work out. And when I got up that morning to go work out, there's $5 laying on the sidewalk. Highway 111 and Tamarisk right there. $5 on the street.
Boy, that impacted you so much. You remembered exactly where it was.
Dude, I know. Well, it was on a public sidewalk. This wasn't like in a residential. This is the main thoroughfare in Palm Springs. And I picked it up and God spoke to me. He said, I took care of the Israelites in the desert.
Yeah.
I'll take care of you and yours.
Wow.
So, Allie, where do you go if you've got $5 for breakfast?
I go to probably Del Taco.
Come on. I have a little bit more class than that. All
Denny's?
Right. Denny's, that's it.
My man.
Yeah. Denny's, $2.99 Grand Slam breakfast.
Okay.
But under a Biden administration, God would have to have left 20. Because with this inflation, $5 ain't going to get you nothing.
I can't. I
might
can't
give you a tip.
Yeah.
That might give you a tip.
I can't disagree with you on that.
I know. Hey, I just preach the truth, bro.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Man. I love it.
Let's go, Brandon.
Gosh.
Let's go podcast.
So it seems like you're brought to your knees.
Yeah, I was.
I mean, I can relate to that, man. I understand, dude. And God,
here's a wild thing. He kept doing little miracles like that.
Yes.
Just what I needed to see where I was. But then my own wicked heart was like, as soon as I get right back on my feet, I'm going right back into the lifestyle.
Right.
So there was a war for my soul. There was a war for my heart and my mind. And, when that's happening, you don't realize. I called a couple of friends and said, hey, guess what? I just moved out. I'm out on my own again. Or I don't remember how I told them. And I literally was saying, you guys better be praying for me because God's doing something big in my life. Although I wouldn't have articulated it like that.
Yeah.
But that's what was happening.
Now, what about your friends who were still in the gay community? Were they kind of like, did they shun you away? Or were they still accepting that?
No, I hadn't left the community yet. I was still in Palm Springs, had no money. One of my best friends from college goes, hey, Jim, why don't you come hang out on the farm with us this summer? Let's go do hay. We'll chop down some trees. We'll harvest hay, do that. So I went to Pennsylvania for 3 weeks and just started going to Moreland Baptist Church. Wow. Became more or less a Baptist for 3 weeks. And it was something beautiful. I hadn't been in church in years, only for my grandpa's funeral and our founding pastor's funeral. But beyond that, I never saw Jesus anywhere and I didn't want to. I do take it back. two of my Christian friends, the one whom I called, actually visited me when I was in the lifestyle. Okay. Everyone else had shunned me. No one would come talk to me, wouldn't see me, had nothing to do with me. You know, you sinner, you get away from you. I actually had some friends in Texas. I was traveling by myself. They said, yeah, you can spend the night. And then I get the call literally the night before. We've decided you can't come stay with us because, you know, we've got kids and you're gay and we don't want that in our house. And I'm like, it was really hurtful.
I was going to say that had to hurt you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wept. It broke my heart.